Hey boys and girls, today we're going to be looking at factors and multiples. Now, if you remember when we are talking about multiples of the number, the multiple monster makes numbers bigger. So if we are looking at, let's say, the number 7, the multiples of 7 are going to be bigger than 7. So you can actually use your multiplication chart to help you find the multiples if you need to. So I'm going across, I see my 7 right here. You can use your multiplication chart too. So I see 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70, 77, 84. These are all the multiples of 7 that are on the chart. They keep on going, but our multiplication chart stops. You can actually also find the multiples of 7 when you go across this way. So here I see 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70, 77, and 84. All of those numbers are bigger than 7 because the multiple monster makes numbers bigger. Now, when we are talking about factors, the factor ninja, think about a ninja chops things up and makes them smaller. So our factor ninja, factors of 7 are going to be smaller than 7. We're going to ask ourselves, what times what can we get to multiply by 7? Well, if you are not sure, I'm going to show you two different ways. The first way is how we're going to use our graph paper to help us find the factors of 7. And then next I'm going to show you how you can actually use your multiplication chart to help you as well. So, I love using the graph paper and making arrays. That's my favorite way to do it, but your favorite way might be the multiplication chart. So I'm going to show you both ways. So, for my graph paper, I'm going to start with one column, okay? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I colored in 7 squares because I'm trying to find the factors of 7. Did this make a rectangle? Absolutely, yes it did. And we would call this a 1 by 7 array because it has one column and 7 rows. Okay, I tried one column and I got a rectangle. So I know 1 and 7 are factors of 7. I'm going to show that using my factor rainbow. 1 times 7 gives me 7. I can also show that by using a T-chart. If you like using a T-chart better, you can use this method. 1 times 7. These both show factors of 7. Okay, let me go back to my graph paper. I tried one column, so now I'm going to try 2 columns. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8. I colored in 8, didn't I? That's a mistake. Let me try that again. 1, 2. I have 2 columns. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There you go. This time I actually shaded in 7 squares. So does this make a rectangle right here? No, we're missing something right there. That doesn't make a good rectangle. So that tells me, since we use 2 columns, 2 is not a factor of 7. Okay? We tried 1 column, 2 columns. Let's try 3 columns. So 1, 2, 3. Do you see my 3 columns? I'm going to keep on counting. 4, 5, 6, 7. Is this a rectangle? It's not an equal rectangle, is it? So I know, since I used 3 columns, that 3 is not a factor of 7. Okay, so I did 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns. Let me try 4 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 columns. 5, 6, 7. I shaded in 7 squares. Does this make an equal rectangle? No, it does not. 4 is not a factor of 7. Okay, tried 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns, 4 columns. What do you think I'm going to try next? 5 columns. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns, 6, 7. 7 squares shaded in. Does this make an equal rectangle? No, it does not. So I know that 5 is not a factor of 7. Okay, let's try 6 columns, because last time we tried 5 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, is this an equal rectangle? No. So I know, since I use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns, 6 is not a factor of 7. Okay, so what comes after 6? 7. But our array right here had 7 rows. So I don't need to draw any more arrays because I can already see that array right here, a 1 by 7. So that tells me that I am done. So this tells me that my only factors of 7 are 1 and 7. Do you remember what we call a number when it only has 2 factors that are 1 in itself? We call this number prime. This is a prime number. Prime numbers only have 2 factors, which are 1 and itself. In fact, some people like to change this I to a 1, and now it says 1, and then you see the word me. So it's kind of like the factors of a prime number are 1 and me, or 1 and myself. You can look at 7. 7 has 1 and itself. Those are the only 2 numbers that you can multiply together to get 7, so that makes it prime. Okay? That's how you can use your graph paper. If you happen to have a multiplication chart in front of you, you can also use your multiplication chart. And you can look at all of these numbers in the middle and look until you find a 7. Do you see a 7 anywhere? I see a 7 right here. This is telling me that 1 times 7 gives me 7. And I already know that. I already know that 1 times 7 gives me 7. Do you see a 7 anywhere else on this chart? I see one right up here at the top. 1 times 7 gives me 7. So I got the same exact factors, 1 and 7, by using my multiplication chart as I did my graph paper. Now, let's look at a different number. Let's say the number, let's do 16. Okay, let's look at the number 16. And let's try to find the factors of 16. Now remember, when we're finding the factors of 16, the Factor Ninja chops things up. So we are looking for numbers that are smaller than 16. Okay, let's use our graph paper. Let's start with 1 column and shade in 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Did this make a rectangle, an equal rectangle? It sure did. We have 1 column and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 rows. So I have a 1 by 16 array. That tells me that 1 and 16 are factors of 16. Okay? You can use your factor rainbow, or if you like a T-chart better, you can use a T-chart to write down your factors, 1 and 16. Okay? I just showed with 1 column, so let me try 2 columns this time. So I'm going to do 1, 2. Do you see my 2 columns right there? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Did this make a equal rectangle? It did. And we would name this a 2 because it has 2 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A 2 by 8 because it had 2 columns and 8 rows. Do you see those 8 rows? So we would call this a 2 by 8, which also shows us that 2 and 8 are factors of 16. So let me add that to my factor rainbow. When I multiply 2 times 8, I will get 16. Okay, if you like to do it on the T-chart, you can also write it right here. 2 and 8, because 2 times 8 gives you 16. Let's try, we tried 1 column, 2 columns, let's try 3 columns. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Do you see the start of my 3 columns there? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Did this make an equal rectangle? No, we're missing some. So this tells me that 3 is not a factor of 16. It's not a factor of 16. Okay? So we tried 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns. How many columns do you think we're going to try next? 4. 4 columns. Let's try 4 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see 4 columns there? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Is this an equal rectangle? It is. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 columns and 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. So we would call this a 4 by 4. And this is actually kind of special. This is what we call a perfect square. And when you're using your graph paper and you're using this strategy by drawing out arrays, when you come to a perfect square, that's your cue that you can stop. You do not have to draw any more arrays. So 4 times 4 gives us 16. So I'm going to add that to my factor rainbow here and my T-chart, because a 4 is factor of 16, because when you multiply 4 times 4, you get 16, okay? This is how you would use this strategy of using your graph paper and drawing out your arrays. Or if you have a multiplication chart, or if you made a multiplication chart, you can use your multiplication chart. And the trick is you're going to look for all the 16s on your paper, or on your multiplication chart. So I'm just going to go across. I'm looking for 16. Oh, I found a 16 right here. I see that 8 times 2 gives me 16. So 8 and 2 are factors of 16. Do we already have that? I see it right here, 8 and 2. So I'm just going to put a little check mark here because we already have that factor. I'm going to keep on looking for 16. I see 12, 15, 18. Nope. I see 12. Oh, here's 16 right here. What can we multiply to get this 16? We can do 4 times 4. So 4 times 4 gives us 16. So 4 is a factor of 16. We have that right here. I'm going to keep on looking on my multiplication chart. Do I see any more 16s? Oh, here's another 16. 8 times 2. Well, we already have that right here, so we don't need to rewrite that. I'm going to keep on looking. Looking for that 16. I see 10, 11. Nope, I'm looking for 16. Oh, that was all the 16s that I could see. Now, we did not find 1 times 16 on the multiplication chart, did we? No, but that is because our multiplication chart stops at 12. It only goes up to 12. If our multiplication chart continued and it included 16, we would find it on our chart. But our multiplication chart is only 12 by 12. It only goes up to 12 times 12. So, when you are finding factors, you can use your multiplication chart to help you, or you can use your graph paper and draw arrays to help you. You need to use the strategy that works best for you.